Things have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out.
What's up, everybody? This is Pastor Troy Wynn Sr., and I'm excited to bring something to you that's brand new, fresh, something I've been thinking about for a long time and definitely been trying to get with this guy to interview him to get his story. He will be one of many individuals, and we're going to call this comeback stories. Comeback stories of real life individuals who have been there and come back, and they've got a story that's worth telling, a story that's worth learning from. And that's why I got my brother here. His name is Sammy Mark. He is one of the most faithful, most trustworthy men in our ministry. And you know me, I don't say things like that lightly. I trust him with my heart. I trust him with the security of my family. I trust him with the security of my ministry. And I just trust him, period, because he's proven himself to be trustworthy. And I love him with all my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Sammy Mark. Man, nothing but love, straight love. Now, I want to walk the people through your journey from the very beginning to where we are now, and I want to try to hit all of the nuances where people can see that, number one, God is real. In 2021, that God is real. Not a fairy tale, not a joke. That in this world, he's doing real life transformations and real life people. And you'll never find a realer dude than this guy, besides me. I promise you that. So let's start at the beginning, which we have to begin with your wife, who started coming to Freedom Church. I said, okay, see a young lady right there, she's coming faithful, very attentive to the word of God. That's the one thing I noticed about it. Sitting in the audience, boom.
She's been trying to get me in church since the day she met me.
Really?
Yeah.
Day one. Now, the funny part about that is you come from...
My father was a pastor.
Father was a pastor.
So I pretty much didn't want nothing to do with God, his God. You feel me?
I got you.
Because I felt like, you know, through life I found out he wasn't as godly as he portrayed himself to be. I had to learn God for myself.
Absolutely.
But I didn't see the way he was. I couldn't understand how God would let him do the things he did.
Wow.
You know, so I strayed away from church. You know, I went, you know, for a while because I was forced to go.
Sure.
Once I got big, I was done.
I did the same thing when I was 19 years old.
But my wife, she was coming here with the kids and tithing. I can't lie, I want to know where my money was going. So I want to come check this guy out. From the first, he grabbed me. And it's like he knew I was in the audience because he spoke on where I'm from, Columbus, Georgia. And I was like, oh, man.
Wow.
And
Nobody but God.
I fought it for a while, you know.
For sure.
I fought it for a long while, even when I was sitting in the chairs. You know, I knew I was supposed to be doing something else.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't have anything.
What made you take that leap? That leap faith to go to the
I
next
think
level?
it was like my fourth Sunday here, bro. You picked me. I was sitting in the middle. Well, I always sat. I like towards the back for nobody to see me, but my wife had to to the front. And he just told me how if I did A, B, C, D,
Yes, sir.
by the word of God, man, my life would change. And you see the abundance. He told me everything that's happening to me right now, bro. He told me, you know. I can't lie. I thought you was just joking, just trying to get my money, man. So I didn't listen. I didn't listen. But you know, about 2 weeks later, you know, he called me. I think he called me on a Friday, and asked was I coming to the church to work, and he was gonna give me some tickets to the wrestling for my boys.
I remember that.
And I was like, cool. I'll be up there working, you know. So you give me the tickets. I put them in my bag. I didn't open the envelope and nothing like that. I just continued to work. And my plan was, you know, to take my boys to that wrestling.
Right.
When my wife comes to church Sunday, I was out of there.
Wow.
So that it needs to be known. I I was gonna leave that Sunday.
We got to pause for a minute now. So the plan was that next Sunday,
Sunday after the wrestling,
after the wrestling,
I wasn't gonna come to church, and I was gonna leave.
Done with the family.
Too much pressure. I couldn't take the pressure.
Wow. So
I couldn't take the pressure of having. I didn't think I was capable. You know, people tell you things through your whole life, tell you'll never be a good provider, and
right.
you never be a good father, and you start believing these things.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you're programmed to believe, and so I figured if they weren't going right for me, wasn't making no money, I wouldn't feed them.
I got you.
What I need to be there for.
Wow. Wow.
You know, I wasn't benefiting them.
Man, it's
just
amazing.
in a way.
God is amazing.
I was gonna jump in the van. I was just gonna leave.
You were out.
I was out. But you know, go back to that Saturday. My wife comes, picks me up. We're on the way home. We stop and we get the Coca-Cola Sam and Chris on them. And that was my first sign.
That was when they had the names on the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that was my first sign because we've been looking for them.
Oh wow.
All right.
Okay.
I felt bad as a man because I was like, dude, give me tickets to go, and I can't even buy them a drink. You know, that's what I'm thinking when I go in the store. And I come back out, my wife, she's crying. I was like, what are you crying for? You're always crying. And she says, there's money in the envelope. I said, I put money in the envelope? A pastor? What's his angle?
What's his name? No cameras, no Facebook posts.
I was told not to even speak on it.
That's exactly what I told you.
And I was like, okay. I wouldn't want somebody to know. Okay. So I think I had one set for sale. I was working out of my house then.
Okay.
At a front loader set for sale for about $600, I believe it was. And the set sold on the way home.
Wow.
And I was like, cool, I'll get 2 more tickets and take the whole family. I didn't want to use the money you give me because I just didn't think that was right. I don't know, it just didn't. I know you wouldn't care, but that just seemed, I wanted to do it myself.
That's what it was. Yeah. You wanted to
cut the BS. I wanted to do it myself.
Right.
And so made the money, bought my daughter and my wife a ticket right there with us.
Yeah.
And we went to the wrestling, and I knew that's what that feeling I had with my family that night. Yeah. I knew I wanted that until God decided me to leave here.
And what was that feeling?
I don't know. They like I was Superman or Batman.
Yeah, no, you said it right the first time.
Like I was a superhero, you know, and the togetherness, the everybody on one accord. Mm-hmm. I knew I had to work. I knew I had some work to do now.
Sure.
I knew that day.
Right.
I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop attacking her personal defects.
Wow.
And attack my flaws of my character, my defects. From that day, I told myself then, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop lying to my wife and other people.
Wow.
That's the first thing I worked on.
You
know, people call me raw at the mouth now because I don't.
You don't
I don't have to. Yeah. I'm not afraid of anybody.
Yeah,
to be lying to me.
Absolutely.
So that I had wiped that out and started treating my wife different. Mm-hmm. You know, instead of cutting her off when she talks, you know, let her talk. Mm-hmm. Let her say what she wants to say. Let her do what she want to do.
Right.
Don't stand over her.
Wow.
Don't tell her she can't go.
Wow.
Go where you want to. You're grown, you know.
Right.
And I worked on me. And I'm still same deal.
Yeah.
If I get upset with her about something, bro, before I attack her, I keep it to myself.
Wow.
I make sure I think way more. That's why my cussing come down, because I think before I speak.
Yeah, your cussings come way down.
Think. Especially with somebody you love.
Absolutely. Words are power.
You got to think before you say something.
Words are power.
You just don't. They're powerful. People remember.
Oh, no doubt about it. Now, how's that affected your marriage? Because we were talking about prior to you going to the WWE, your plan was to leave the family. So the changes that you made, the ones that you just described, how has that affected your marriage?
I mean, I know marriage is perfect, but I'll tell you this: there's no. If we have a disagreement, we're both grown enough to say.
Yes, sir.
We're not gonna. Nobody's sleeping on the couch. Everybody sleeps in their bed. Nobody's leaving home.
Right.
We don't do that. We barely even argue. We don't disagree, but disagreements lead to arguments. But it's none of that.
Wow.
You know, I think it's more of me. I'm not the fool anymore. So she says every day. She said, "I'll follow you to the end of the earth."
Oh, absolutely.
You feel me? She is the better half of me.
Y'all operating as a team. Yeah.
better half from she's that.
I know. I like the love that y'all have. I saw the other day, man. She posted something about how much she loved you and how proud she was. And I think, man, more wives should really do that. You know, we are hard on men, and we quick to point out men's flaws. But I think a lot of wives could probably step up a notch, man, and just acknowledge the good that their husbands do. And I saw that the other day on Facebook.
Every other day, if not every day.
Yeah.
Somebody in my house tell me how proud they are.
Can't put a price on that, man.
I keep driving, bro.
Yeah.
I keep pushing. You know, like now,
Yes, sir.
the pedals to the floor.
No, you on the gas, bro.
You know, I'm not coming off. I tell my wife, yes, I'm not leaving that out here.
Yes, sir. It's out there to be got.
I'm not going.
No, when you say you're not leaving anything out there, let's talk about your business.
Okay. And when I first got here, it was just a name.
Right.
You know, I didn't do things right. Didn't warranty calls I didn't take care of, would block them, things like that. Went to work for some people, but I was learning, I was watching.
Yes, sir.
And I went from about $900 to $1,000 a month when I was out there doing it myself for real, when I thought I was doing it.
Right.
Nah, it's 10 times that now.
Yeah, your business is thriving and prospering, and your business is
JDK Appliance Sales and Service LLC, licensed, insured, and bonded.
Okay.
We fix, sell, refurbish appliances, hot water heaters. We do a lot.
And when I tell you the guy's good, he's good at what he does.
We didn't just get here though.
No.
It's not overnight success. You know, I've been out here for 10 years.
10 years.
You know, 10 solid years trying to get right, learning on other people's jobs, running other people's businesses.
Yeah.
And we get caught up thinking we can't do it. And I didn't have any money. I just jumped out there. I'm talking to Elder P, and he tells me, he says, bro, I tell him how proud I am of him because, you know, we push each other like that. Me and him, I don't care what anybody else says. Me and him, we talk,
Right.
and we're, dude roots for me.
Yes, sir.
And I root for him. And I said, dude, you know, you around here, you got a Denali. He said, that's a truck. I said, no, dude, that's a Denali. I said, you pushed me. I said, the best thing that happened to me
Right.
is when you pulled up in your truck.
Wow.
Because he's in the neighborhood.
That's right. That's right.
Because we both out there talking every time, bro.
That's
I'm
right.
in the truck. I'm in the
Right.
truck. Both of us.
And let me explain that now. When we say in this church that when you see God bless somebody else, you should be excited because you know God's in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
he's in the neighborhood. If you're connected to them people,
That's right.
it's like what he's using me for, and people don't realize it. He's in the blessed business.
Period.
If he can pick somebody up like me, and if you know me, you know my background. Background check if you want to.
Yes, sir.
I don't care. It don't bother me anymore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm a walking miracle, bro.
Oh, absolutely. You tell me how many times you went to prison 1 year?
I went 19 times. Went to jail 19 times in 2011.
19 times.
I spent most of that year in jail.
Obviously.
You know, do a month, get out. Do a couple weeks, get out again. I went one time. I got out on a Tuesday.
Oh my God.
And I'm riding around on the following Tuesday. And had a warrant. I walked out of the jail with a warrant. I went right back to jail. And I wasn't even, you know, they just ran my name. You got a warrant. Well, it's out of jail, you know. That was the last time before.
Yeah, yeah.
I went down the road, you know, and he gave me every sign, man. But I say that was probably one of the church and going there was two of the best things that happened to me.
Why would you say the church?
Because it changed my life. It changed the whole dynamic of my next 2 generations.
Wow.
Because my business is not going to leave here when I leave here.
Thanks.
I'm telling you, this church changed the dynamic because my family was the marriage divorce, womanized, woman beaters, alcoholics, drug addicts.
Right.
You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And that stuff's hereditary.
Oh, no doubt about it.
So I was destined, if I kept doing it, I was going to pass it down to the mother generation. That's 2 more.
Exactly.
Minimum 2 more generations that have been alcoholic, drug addict.
Right.
You hear me? And the study showed, but if you come from a healthy marriage, healthy family,
Yes, sir.
odds are
Sure, you have a better chance.
And that's why I say generations, not
Right.
just me,
No.
because I'm not going to reap all the rewards
No, no.
of what God got planned for me, that abundance. That's going to go to them.
Absolutely.
And I'm fine with that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine with that. You know, it changed that. It changed me as a man. You know, I led on the streets, but I wasn't leading right.
Right,
You know,
right.
dudes out here robbing folks, man. Just you wouldn't believe some of the stuff.
Yeah,
You know, but to come here and it's like from the jump. You know, when you told them leave them alone. You know, I'm not messing with them. They ain't gonna bother me about this. They're gonna work with me. At least I can do it. Work with them too.
Right. Now, let me pause here because there was a reason why I had to tell the people in our church to leave him alone. When Sammy first got here, he was wrong. I mean, straight off the yard. Straight off the street. And one of the things that a lot of people just were kind of bothered by was that he would cuss
A lot
in just regular conversation. It wasn't intentional cussing. It wasn't trying to be profane. I remember in Bible study, you would come to Bible study and you would ask questions, and your questions would be filled with cuss words. And people are looking like, okay, he's not going, that's not going. And I said, just leave him alone. And the reason why I told him to leave you alone, and I told you this, you know, you said earlier that I spoke some things to you, and I don't call myself to be a prophet. I don't, but I do know that God. No, I don't call myself to be a prophet.
call you that.
No,
Your discernment is very powerful.
sermon is strong, and I know God shows me certain things, and I spoke with God, showed me in your rawest state. I told you, I said you are going to be blessed financially. God's going to bless you, and I remember saying this. I said you're going to pass most of the people in my church, spiritually and financially, and you're going to pass most of the men in my church. And I'm talking about most of the men in my church who have been here far longer. I remember saying that directly to you. And one of the last things I said to you is that if I got to lose other people, you remember me telling you that? If I got to lose other people because I love you and I'm going to protect you and I'm going to give you an environment, then I would rather lose them than to lose you. You remember me telling you that? And I meant every single word of it. It was the best decision I ever made.
That's one of the driving things you don't know. I can't let y'all know. That's one of the things. I know.
Wow.
Hear me. Hear me. You and your wife.
Yes, sir.
When I feel here, hear me.
Yes, sir.
Y'all put me way up here.
That's what we saw you at, though, bro. Even when you were down here.
It could be like, you know, stinking thinking are always gonna be around. Bro.
Always.
So what happens? Even now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I walk out the door, bro. I still be like, that's
That's your
you know,
trouble.
that's mine. You know, and so I have to motivate myself. Positive affirmations. You know, I have to do that stuff.
Yes.
And y'all have me doing things, bro, that I'm like, man, I'm doing. Okay. You're done.
Yeah,
You know,
we believe you can do it.
you can do it. Look, you know, so one of the driving things, I know other people, and people are like that. People say, okay, let me watch him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he go down, if he fall,
Yeah.
oh, he'll fall too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it ain't a stick at me, it's a stick at y'all.
Some people live for that.
You know, but I'm rising.
You know, so
You know,
we saw it, though.
And it's y'all. Y'all are driving. I know God, like I say, dude, Reverend Ike, Creflo Dollar, Joe Osmond,
Joe Osteen.
they couldn't have.
They couldn't.
Nah,
I
man.
don't know about that.
Nah. I've been listening to them. I used to watch they have cable. So I was watching in the mornings, I see what they had to say. I was watching everyone too.
Wow.
I was like, man, this is mess. You know, you can't just send anybody for anyone. God can't do that.
And everybody,
And he knew
we all can reach certain one.
when he picked me up and sat me on your doorstep, what he was doing. He knew exactly the plan.
I believe that.
Of course, we already been renting because the set wasn't already.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know for y'all in this church, a lot of things, it's a domino effect,
Right.
snowball effect. We're going to say dominoes fall.
Right.
Snowballs.
Roll.
They grow.
Yeah.
You know, and dude, I'm on an avalanche right now. It's like the beginning of something where you see, and people don't realize you can grow so much in 12 months that you surprise yourself, even financially, spiritually,
Absolutely.
especially with your discernment.
Yes, sir.
It'll blow you away if it'll have you where you have a sit down, cry, hush moment.
Right.
You know,
Right.
me moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Me moment.
Yeah.
You know, and I have them a lot.
I do too. Right.
But my thinking ain't on $100 scale anymore.
Exactly.
Well, you got me thinking on $1 million scale.
Oh, that's what we do here, though. Man.
And I know
That's
people
what we
somebody gonna watch it and be, damn boy, he ain't gonna make no million. You already made $1 million, so stop worrying about that.
Yeah.
That's been done.
Come on, brother.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wait, say you ain't gonna do what you are.
Well, I'm already doing. You already said, hey,
They said that wasn't gonna be done. It's done.
so why? Okay, do it this way. If you go to this church, I told you something about my life.
Come on.
What have I told you about my upcoming life that I have not done? What have I? If you can name me one thing, that goes for anybody I talk to in the church. They can tell me one thing.
Yes, sir.
That I use my mouth to manifest.
So everything's going
Use my faith to manifest.
Yes, sir.
Use my commitment here.
Yes,
That's
sir.
one of my biggest things. I call it extra credit.
Right. We're
Not
gonna
for
talk about
you.
that. We're gonna talk about that too. I want to talk about that. Talk about that now. Your commitment to the ministry. Because number one, let me set this up. It's strong. It's reliable. It's one of the best we have in this church. I know that if I call you and tell you I need you to do something, I want you to do something, do something.
I'm locking my doors. I'm closing my business and do what you asked me to do.
Just like that. And I never have to worry about if it's done.
It's not even
It's
replaced.
done. So
Because the biggest, dude, I made $1,000 since I pulled up at 10 o'clock this morning. My best days financially
I heard you say this several
is when I
times.
come to this church.
You said that several times.
If I used to be scared, oh no, the first time I can't remember what we were doing, but I was like, oh no, I can't close up.
And he's talking about when we do like work days,
Yeah.
or feeding the community.
I remember it was something we did when I first opened on Green Street. And I was like, dude, I can't close because the sign. When we was painting, filling those holes.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
said,
Front of the bill.
on that lift, that turkey lift, I said, oh man, it might be too early in this to close for a whole day.
Right.
But I did I probably did $900 before we got all the way to the top. And I was like,
And I didn't tell you that you had to come here and work. I just said, and I never do that. I just say we're feeding the community, we're doing this at the church. You make the decision to shut down your business and come and work.
Because if I don't do it, how do I expect somebody else to do it?
Well, you know,
That's his boy. The boy is here. So what I'm gonna do it for? I'm gonna do more than them.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna stay longer than them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, very few people gonna outwork me. You're one, and maybe watch every now and then I'll let it. But you're not gonna outwork me here.
You mean the pastor be working?
Yeah, pastor.
They say all the pastor does is just preach and go home.
Well, not this
eat
pastor.
chicken and go to sleep.
You know, do you sleep?
About 4 hours a night.
He puts in work.
That's about it.
But see, my commitment to my business and my family, all that consistent stuff you talking about, it started here.
Come on, brother.
And
Yes,
it just fell off over there. Okay, since I can be so strong. And you said, don't be the best member of the church and not be the best member of your
come on, man.
How can I can't put in all my work here and then go home and go to sleep.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
I can't go to my shop and go to sleep.
No, sir.
But I figured out for my part what God got for me. If I do right here,
Come on, brother.
if I do right in this house right here, it ain't got nothing to do with him.
Come on.
If I do right in here,
That's right.
I don't care if it's putting down carpet, I don't care if it's tearing down walls, I don't care if
That's
it's cleaning toilets.
That's right.
I don't care if it's taking toilets off the thing and replacing them. I don't care if it's taking down lights.
It is.
Whatever it is, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it faster and better than the next man.
What I say, if you take care of God's business, God will take care of your business.
Yeah,
Facts.
you talking back right now.
I'm trying to tell you, brother.
You know.
You're never going to beat God given. You're not going to beat God doing.
Don't be scared to give up some of that money.
Nah, come on. Invest.
Don't be scared. I don't care what church you go to.
Yes, sir.
If the pastor's going to do wrong, if you got in your head they're going to do wrong with my money, let them. Let them. But you can't win. I believe, God talks to everybody different because He can't come at us all the same.
Right.
It's just, I believe it's going to be a book. It's going to be a book on Troy. It's going to be a book on Sam.
Most definitely.
Hey, Sam, you did everything but tithe. You think that's going to go well?
Right. You love me with everything except your money.
You didn't tithe, so you want, now you want to kick it with me.
Right.
I'll go kick it with old boy. You know what I mean? And don't be scared to give up that money. Don't be scared if your church is doing something. Don't be scared to sponsor it.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you got a business, there ain't no excuse.
For sure.
And you're not helping the church if you got a business.
And you and your wife do that all the time. There's a scripture in the Bible says if you give somebody a cup of water in the name of God, that you won't lose your blessing. And I'm glad to say this now. Freedom Church is one of the most fiscally responsible churches I think anybody can ever find. Because people can literally see, and you can testify to this, you can see where your tithe and your offerings are going every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
I've been in church a long time. I don't know many churches. We're not the only one, but I don't know many churches that give as much as we do, as often as we do. I remember food, to gift cards, to cars, to
trips, to
vacations, trips, tickets. Oh man,
bailout funds,
getting people out of jail, getting people attorneys who can afford one.
And I know, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Some of the stuff. No, I'm not assuming. I know some of the stuff that the church does. People ain't tithing enough. No, they're not. I can see them when they sitting in a chair fidgeting. I know that's y'all's personal.
It is. Oftentimes it is. And I don't have a problem saying that. I don't have a problem saying that at all.
If you pulling out your personal pocket, you tell Pastor Tish Mama Bear is too.
Uh-oh, here we go.
It's my church too.
Oh, Lord.
I choose to pull my money
yes, sir.
out of my pocket
yes, sir.
to help my church.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
That's right.
Other people should be doing it too.
But we do it to lead by example.
Well,
I'm not going to.
You never ask me for a penny.
No, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to be that pastor that you always see receiving, but you never see giving.
Throw something at you that Mama Bear don't think I know.
Uh-oh.
I wrote Mama Bear a check for $140 one week, and I wrote a check for $100 the other week. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hear me out.
Okay.
She comes to me and she says, how much that wood cost you out there? You hear me? Hear me now.
You're working on the front of the church? Yeah, you're boss of wood.
I don't know. I just throw the number out there. You hear me? It's funny how those checks were never cashed.
Yeah, why you doing this on camera?
It's funny how the checks were never cashed. But these are the kind of people you're talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
pastors and pastors' wives don't do that, bro.
Yes, sir.
I told my wife, I said, how much all these checks? I know what she did.
That was our way of refunding you. Yeah.
I know. I told my wife, I said, I bet you a dime to a dollar. Pastor Tish.
Yes, sir.
Refund that money. I said, you know what happened this time? I said, so next time we get a tax, you just up it. You double that up for her. Selling members' money out of the blue.
Yeah, for sure.
For Christmas.
For sure. For sure.
Come on, people don't do that, bro. People don't.
That's right.
They don't go in.
That's right.
The best way to let somebody know you care about, I don't care what nobody say,
yes,
pull some money out your pocket.
Yeah. Money means something.
Without the camera.
Without the camera.
Put the camera up.
Without the camera. Without everybody knowing.
Everybody knowing. Have them something. Don't be scared. The next time you're lying, the man behind you, have him $20.
Yeah. You practice that. And it's the concept of understanding you're blessed.
Currency. You said it.
Exactly.
A couple sermons, you said,
come on.
Currency is with the flow. And I snatched that.
That's its nature.
You can't, how's it flowing if I'm holding on to it? If I'm scared to use it, if I don't want to lose, if you're scared of if you're not tithing because you don't want to be broke, you're gonna forever be broke.
Period.
That's what I figured out.
Right.
And I tell you something funny. We're gonna use Sunday as a reference with where God works with me.
Sure.
When I get apprehensive about tithing and being broke and
yes, sir.
not being consistent. Hey, man, hey, leaders, before y'all go out that door, why don't you go ahead and tie? This guy. Courtney, you gonna get the kiosk? Go out there and get it.
Yes, sir.
And I said, man, yeah, but do this, swipe it for that.
Yes, sir.
And before I can get out the door to get back on my post,
Come on, man.
that money came back before I can get to the door.
Wow. Wow.
That's the way, and I'm telling you, it happens. It happens more every time I get where that voice that still comes back
Yes, sir.
of doubt,
Yes,
because
sir.
it's going to be there
Sure.
until you. I haven't been saved since I come out of the womb, so it's going to be there for a little while. But when I push it back and I do what I'm supposed to do,
Yes, sir.
God shows out.
That's because that's the act of trusting and having faith in God.
You know, and you tell people, they're like, nah. I'm like, yeah. I tell, if you have faith in God and you believe what you say, first of all, you got to believe it. You got to see it. I believe, they're out here hallucinating.
Right.
If you see success,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
there ain't nothing I dreamed about being in that truck.
Yes,
I
sir.
dreamed about owning property.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
dreamed about running business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then I came here, then I started seeing it.
Right. Right.
Wait a minute. Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep seeing it and believing it.
Absolutely.
And don't get discouraged because you say something that you're gonna do and it don't work out then.
Exactly.
That's not how it works sometimes. Everybody ain't on the same clock.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta get ducks in the row before you gotta put work in your faith before God's gonna put work in you.
Period. Yes, sir.
And instead of saying it, you gotta, if you want to drive a license, you ain't had one in 20 years.
Right.
You gotta find out what you gotta do to do it. Don't sit and say, God,
And that's
I want to have a truck.
No, you got one, right?
Yeah, I had a driver's license since 2003.
Since 2003.
Yes, sir.
And you have one now.
Got it May 4th. I got it in the mail on my birthday.
Oh, God, do it.
Yeah. But I had to put it in work instead of just saying it. I wanted a truck, and not a knock to my wife, but I don't want my wife to have to sign for me a truck.
I got you.
Dude, I had the truck before I had the license. That's the part people don't even know.
Right.
Bro, I went down there and bought a truck, and didn't have it in my hand.
I love it.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
I went and bought straps
Come on, man.
before I bought the truck.
Come on, man.
You
Come
hear
on.
me?
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
I went and bought stuff.
Come on.
They're like, man, are you crazy? I'm getting ready.
What do I say? Preparation is
Preparation.
an indication of your expectation.
See, I bought a Dodge Ram keychain before I got the truck. I bought the little sliding hitch thing.
You go to Freedom Church.
I bought the truck.
You definitely go to Freedom Church, brother.
Sitting on the kitchen table like, come on, where the truck at? It's coming.
We believe that. That's what we teach and preach, man.
And that's why when it happens and you see people like,
yeah,
because they know what you said.
you spoke it though.
They know what you said. And the doubt that they had, because people doubt you all the time, they doubt,
Yeah.
the doubt that they had is now like admiration, where they're like,
Sure.
every word I say,
Yeah, listen.
they're hanging on it.
You got proof. You got the proof of concept.
Asking
Yes, sir. For sure.
praise team
For sure.
in that. I don't want to
You don't want to praise them. You don't want to get all the It's a lot of heat up there now.
It's a lot of heat. It's being down here.
It sure is.
I see his face not fair.
Well, and that's because we have
You demand,
ministry of excellence.
you portray excellence, bro.
Yes, sir.
Everything you do to a level where you're not going to expect anything less from somebody else. So you gotta.
Okay.
It's a bro. I thank you because I can't accept being average. I was never average.
Never.
I just needed somebody to tell me I wasn't.
Right. Right. And the push.
Instead of telling me what you're not or what you won't be.
Tell you what you are.
What
you can
I'm
do.
that.
Yeah. Who you are. Yeah, for sure. Sure.
I had another little saying I would say. You said I can't say it.
Yeah.
See, you're pulling and pushing at the same time. You don't even know that. I know that won't make sense to some.
I got you.
Because the crab in the back bucket thinking.
Right,
So
right, right.
how's he pushing and pulling?
I got you.
Because your words are pushing me.
Right, right, right,
But you're not letting me.
right.
You're not letting me slack.
No, not at all.
You hear me?
Not
You're
at
not. And when I feel you like when I feel a slack here, reset.
Yep. I
said, "Ooh, that's for me."
Right on time.
You hear me?
Right on time, for
And
sure.
because every year at this time, like I say, people, the summertime, what I've figured out in these past 5 years, summertime people fall off.
Period. Facts.
And it's just like, well, let's talk simple. If you're not eating, if you're not getting fed,
Right.
you're going to fall off.
Period. No doubt.
And what I tell myself every year right before I go on vacation, that's when I level up. Every year, if you notice, right before I leave to go on vacation, I try to knock everything out.
You
This,
You definitely do that.
you know,
You be on it.
because one, I wouldn't be taking vacation if it weren't for this church and y'all.
Wow.
You know, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be throwing out in the universe. Hey, barely taking 1 week. Let's take 2.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
And I remember when you first came here, you know, because I was teaching that we should all take vacations.
Vacation, what is
we
that?
should plan our finances so that we can take a break. And I remember you telling me that you have never taken a family vacation. And man, that floored me. That floored me,
And
brother.
never took a family vacation to 2000. We took one in 13, but that was with somebody else. I really couldn't call it a vacation.
Right.
Well,
Right. Yeah. You.
me,
There you go.
Us.
Yes, sir.
you know, the same couple we went with, I remember them telling me, and it hurt me, because I felt they thought they were better than me. He says, $14 for me is different from $14 from you. For you. That's what he said to me. You hear me?
Why did he feel the need to?
I don't know. Because we was buying a jumper for my boy to swim in. They're like, we'll buy it, because I know $14 for y'all is different from $14 from us.
Oh, wow.
And if you're watching this video, I done caught you, but $14 is $14.
And we'll leave that in. Wow.
You know, planning, and you know, I think we went 2016 and 2017. We went for 1 week, and then that's the year of the 17. I was like, you know, I was still a little tired towards the end. I was like, babe, you think we can do 2 weeks? And she's one of my driving forces too, and
Of
she
course.
just don't know it because
Yes, sir.
I don't like to see it,
Right.
but it helps me when I see doubt in her eyes. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And she's like, you think we could do that?
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah. Period.
And it's a tradition.
Wow.
You know, I'm trying to figure out more.
Now, you talk about an amazing
You know,
transformation.
Places like you had me where the first year when, of course, I felt, I can't say out of place, because you go to these new places, man, you see people, you know, you're looking at some of these people make millions of dollars you rubbing elbows with.
Yes, sir.
In these resorts.
Yes,
and I ain't
sir.
talking about no timeshare
Yes,
either.
sir. I know what you're talking about.
You know, I'm rubbing elbows with people.
Yes, sir.
And I wouldn't go to the hot tub when they were in there because I ain't want, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I felt out of place.
I got you.
But somebody said, you paying for this.
That's right. You belong there.
You belong there. If
That's
you
right.
pay for it, you belong. Then you find out
right.
you're paying more than them.
Come on. That part.
You know? And so now, dude, I walk in. Only place I don't walk in like I own it is this church, because I know he owns it. I walk in here with confidence, but anywhere I walk into the building,
You pointing at me?
Yeah.
No, God owns it. I don't own it. I walk in.
you own the building.
I walk in. That's everywhere I
Your
walk. though.
presence in this building, but you can feel you when you hit the door.
Wow.
You don't have to. I don't have to guess. I knew you wasn't in here today. I don't have to guess. You own this building.
Wow.
I don't mean financially.
I got you.
You own this building, bro. Your mark is all over this building.
Well, thank you, brother.
You own the walls. You own the floors. You
Thank
own
you,
the
brother.
carpet.
Thank you, brother.
All that.
I think that's the mark of a leader.
You own that, bro.
When I say people, we should all leave our thumbprint, not just our butt print.
Yeah, you got handprints, feet prints,
Whole hand.
blood prints.
Real talk on the
You know, I
blood.
know. If I'd have been working up here and got cut or something,
my
I
God.
know you have.
man,
I can imagine.
I almost cut my thumb off one time.
You know,
I had to go to the
I remember.
hospital. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
So no, man, I'm gonna do it. Whatever you ask me to do, I don't care. If I ain't never done it before, I can read.
Man, I'll say this, brother. I wish I and I know God's gonna send them to me. I wish I had 1,000 more like you. And I don't just throw that out there facetiously. Bro, if I had 1,000 like you, Freedom Church be all over the world.
Oh man.
All over the world. Are you kidding me?
Let me tell you something somebody said to me. And Mother Oliver said to me.
Oh, I love Mother Oliver. I love Mother
Miss D
Oliver.
said it too, in separate occasions, which blow me away.
Uh-huh.
So you know you need to go out here. Pull people in here, don't you?
Ah. Yes, sir.
Not in a bad way.
No, I know.
And I
in a
was
good
like,
way.
no, Mama. She says, they need to hear you.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we're doing this
Like, no, Mama.
interview. That's why
like,
we're doing
no.
this interview, though, man.
And
I want people to hear your story.
when people tell you what you could be or what you should, sometimes people tell you what you should be doing, but it's in a bad way.
Right.
When people tell you things like, you know, you're a minister material, you're like, no, I'm not. You know my mouth? But when God sent it to you multiple times,
Yes,
it's
sir.
time to stop playing.
It
Start
is.
reading the text.
That's it, man. That's it.
Instead of skimming the text, instead of doing a couple verses on Facebook, read the text.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
For sure.
one, people gonna listen to you. People gonna hear you because of your life experiences anyway.
Period.
The proof is there that if you put in some work, my proof is there. But also, it's gonna be some that doubt you, so you're gonna have to be able to go to that text.
Period. Absolutely.
Because they're gonna go to it and make you look dumb.
Absolutely. Check
You know what I
what
mean?
you're talking about.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So everything I do, man, it's only to better myself and for this ministry, not for myself.
Of course. And I see that.
Not for myself.
I see that.
I'd rather not be seen.
Yes, sir. And I know that to
But
be a
for
fact.
some ungodly reason, you know, you pushed me out there. You know, I didn't like giving hugs. I didn't like shaking hands. I didn't like people touching me. That's why you out there. I'm like, okay, that's what you said, and you said it with that same tone you said about this interview today.
Sorry about that.
You said, no, it's getting done today.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because sometimes when the devil wants us to say can't,
Come on, man.
you need somebody to say, yeah, it's gonna get done today.
Man, we
Because
got-
I was gonna say can't. I can't do it.
We don't speak that.
But then I'm
language.
like, are you a boss or are you not?
Right.
What do you
Well,
mean you can't?
What are we doing here?
Watch this. See about one.
Yeah, what are we doing? Let's
You know,
we're gonna make it happen.
You know, that's
And
right.
it's a mindset, man. It is a mindset. And just like you said that God used me to reach you because you needed somebody like me for whatever reason to help you see all of this.
You got proof.
Right. You are another version of me.
And that's flattering in itself.
It is in the same aspect that there's some people that you're going to be able to reach who may not listen to me, but they'll listen to you. Yeah, the landscape of church is changing, period. But not only is the landscape of church changing, the landscape of the messengers and the ministers of God are changing. And they have to for 2021 and going forward because people need to see a variety. They don't just need to see the dude in the 4-piece suit.
Got you.
They need to see the dude in the t-shirt and the short pants that's just as anointed, just as gifted, loves God to the same degree, and is really about it when it comes to the kingdom of God. And that's what I love about what you bring to the table. And then God starts magnetizing all of us. You drawing, I'm drawing, and we always drawing them to the kingdom,
That's what's
man.
blowing me, them young.
Man.
I just never thought that, you know. Mr. Sammy, like, wait, who, what?
Mr. What? Respect.
looking for my daddy, you know. Dude, white guy comes to the shop, man, and he says, he goes to, where does he go? Second Baptist, I think.
Okay.
But he says to me, he says, Sam, you really are a good man.
Wow.
And I'm like, you feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's that voice again.
Yeah.
I said, I love you, bro, but that's one of the adjectives I'd have never thought somebody would say to me. I wouldn't use that adjective.
Right, a
That-
good man.
A good man.
Good
You
man
feel
and
me?
Sammy in the same
Yeah.
sentence.
Definitely with the name in it. And it comes to changing this, you know, dude, I wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying child support. I
Wow.
wasn't doing nothing.
Mm.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't doing nothing.
Wow.
Not a shameful, man, but we can make excuses on things, man. And anybody who walk into child support court, you ain't worked all year.
Right.
You ain't paid nothing. Something. I wasn't doing nothing, man. But y'all got me that push where I needed to be. I can't say perfect but I needed to be.
You need to level up.
So when people go looking for something
Right.
to discredit this church,
Right.
and if they go to it, they're gonna be like, well, he wasn't doing this, but oh my God.
Right. That's it, man.
We can't go there.
Proof,
Riding around with no driver's like, can't go there.
evidence, transformation.
You know, you can't. My goal is to work on myself
Yes, sir.
until it's time to ride, you know.
Well, that's the key, though,
And
man.
I want people to know that I'm and especially if they know me, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can
You
see
know
the change.
some of the stuff we done,
You can see the change, man.
and you don't believe in God.
Yeah.
You don't believe there's something to this? I've done it any kind of way. There's not a way of living that I hadn't done.
Right.
I can't recall none, from the addict, from the street guy to the hustler, to the thief, to the liar,
Right. So
selling dope.
you say this way is working out pretty good for you.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But I know if I keep sowing into my church and to people,
Yeah.
God's going to bless me where I can bless some other people.
Period.
I know it.
Period.
I know it. I see it.
That's the will.
I'm
of
already
God.
doing it.
Absolutely.
We just don't talk about it.
Absolutely.
You know? And I wouldn't have, bro, if it weren't for you in this play, I would have never,
Wow.
I'd be dead.
Wow.
I'd be dead.
Now that's.
Because I'd have left them.
Mm.
I would have either overdosed or somebody in Columbus would have killed me.
Wow. And you say that with great certainty.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. 98% sure. The other 2% is prison.
Right.
And somebody killed me.
Just dead either way, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Wow.
And I know that, and I'm thankful for that. So I'm gonna go hard.
Man.
You know, there ain't nothing I'm not gonna do here, and nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for my family. That's right.
Well, man, I thank God for you. I'm gonna ask you to look in that camera and take 5 minutes to speak to the man and the woman and the young person out there who has some setbacks, hasn't really had a good experience with church, hasn't had a good experience with God, and have just kind of thrown it all away to be nothing but a bunch of bull that don't amount to much. Look in that camera and speak to them.
I'm gonna start with the young people. Especially the black men. If you got a son, and you might not believe in God, you might not, but your wife goes to church, and you won't, and you would, and I know somewhere in the back of your head you're thinking, I want to go with my family. Try us out one Sunday. Bring your teenage boy. Bring him, and I promise you, he's gonna love it. Because they're teachable, they're learnable. And just because you're a dope addict, just because you're finna get a divorce, that don't mean God's giving up on you.
That's right.
That's not what that means. And I promise you come get some of this. We'll show you some stuff. We'll make you believe again. Wow. You know, some people just need a little hope and a little belief to know that, hey, maybe my life ain't over. Maybe I don't have to go kill myself. You know? Come Sunday. Check us out on Wednesday. Check him out online. Everything this guy says legit. Everything about this church legit. You know, nobody's judging nobody. You know, we have people come here smell like weed, alcohol. We're not gonna say no, don't come in here because you smell like alcohol. Come sit down. You can sit down in the front if you want to.
That's right.
Give us a shot, and I promise you, to change your life, it changed mine.
Wow.
I appreciate it.
One last thing. You said something about this church gave you hope.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
When you come from nothing,
Yes, sir.
I don't think people get it.
Yes,
I
sir.
ain't never had nothing. Do you hear what I'm saying? I ain't never had. I had some stuff in my 20s, man, where I had hope of having some things, and I let a divorce crush my ego, crush my spirit.
Yes, sir.
Crush me as a man. You know, my self-esteem was low. And don't think, and there's men out here that I know, women aren't perfect, men aren't perfect. I know some men out here that their wife cheated on them. Now their ego is crushed.
Yes, sir.
So now they're trying to sleep with all these women and do different things. Y'all show me hope that I can have a good family.
Yes, sir.
Wife look at me and adore me. Pastor Tish she looks at you, bruh. I was watching her watch you one day, and I said, man, I want my wife to look at me exactly how she's looking at him.
Wow.
That's how my wife look at me. I could walk in the door, and that's how she looks at me.
Priceless.
The hope of having what you never thought you could have.
Yeah.
You know, 6-figure income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Being able to go where you want to at a drop of a dime.
Yes, sir.
Being able to take care of your kids. Being able to pay child support.
Yes, sir.
Being able to put gas in cars.
Yes, sir.
But I didn't have none of that.
Ooh.
I didn't have none of that. Being able to teach your son.
Yes, sir.
That's not how you treat a woman.
Yes, sir.
Being able for your 15-year-old to say, Dad, I want a marriage like your mama got.
Wow.
That's hope, bro. We didn't have that. We didn't have nothing. All we had was mess.
Man.
And I'm not knocking anybody.
Yes,
But
sir.
it was messy.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was destined to be an alcoholic, drug addict. Just by what I was watching.
Right, right.
And that hope not to have to live like that.
Yeah.
Bruh. And I know that people don't be wanting to hear it, bro, but I don't care. Dude, I'm bossing up. God got me out here looking like a cheat. Y'all just don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it.
I love it.
I'm in a dream. I live in a dream-like state.
Right. Seems unreal.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Around here at red light out in my truck, and I catch a call on the phone talking business. I'm like, dude, you know, bruh. And it's okay to pat yourself, dude. It's okay.
Yeah, it's wonderful, man.
That's okay. So don't let nobody tell you arrogant or you boasting and
No,
bragging. No, you
no,
could talk about what you got going on.
Yes, sir.
And if it bothers somebody that you got good stuff going on, and they don't want to hear you talking about it, move on from them anyway.
Find somebody
But
else.
that hope of knowing,
Yes, sir.
you know, it's more like we're gonna call it hope, faith, and knowing.
Yeah. I like
It
that.
makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Because I don't hope that things are gonna happen anymore. I have hope that God is gonna lead me the way I'm going.
Right.
But I got faith to know I got to work on that.
Yes, sir.
And I know for a fact that abundance that everybody,
Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
it's yours for the taking too.
Come on, brother.
And it can happen. And don't think you read your Bible today, you go to church about 2 weeks, that it's going,
Nah, doesn't happen.
no,
like
that's not how it's going to work. It's going to be some bumps, going to be some bruises, you're going to lose some
Right.
people. But I
process.
promise you, write your plan down and stick to it.
That's it. Do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work, man. Have faith. Believe in yourself and believe in God. We teach that real heavy here.
Yeah, I'm God with a little G.
Yeah, no doubt. All day, every day. You made in His image and His likeness.
See, I'm little G.
Well, you know, I gave myself the name Troy Hover. the other son of God.
I got you.
Jehovah, Troy Hover.
You know, and I'm living proof of what's up.
You are absolutely living proof.
You know,
man.
I'm not gonna shy away from that. To know I'm not living proof anymore.
I'm
That's
not gonna
over
let
with.
you. I'm
That's
not gonna
over with.
let you.
It's over with. So when I slide out my truck, jump out there, I'm a boss
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in God's image.
All day, every day.
You hear me?
All day, every day.
Not me.
No, we got it.
He set me up
Yes, sir.
to be a boss, to show people
That's right.
that what you teach, bruh, is fact.
Yeah. If you apply it.
If you apply, now you can't just listen and don't do nothing.
We teach it to millions.
You can't.
But you have to apply it. You have to do the work consistently.
Yeah, you can't, and don't think because, like I say, we're not a microwave. I don't even have a microwave in my house anymore. Throw it away.
It's a process.
We don't want nothing quick.
No.
And if nothing has ever came easy for you in your life, don't expect success and change to be easy either.
Man, because it's not going to be.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be uncomfortable.
No, that's it. But that's the price of admission, though.
But the thing about it, I'm not uncomfortable anymore.
No.
Now, I had some uncomfortable moments,
Of course.
but I'm not.
It's part of the journey.
Why would you be uncomfortable? I can't be uncomfortable with something I'm supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
Is a fish uncomfortable in water?
That's right. You're supposed to be in water.
Is
you
a
know,
bird uncomfortable in the air?
We're supposed to teach. We're supposed to treat people different.
That's right.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Send me 1,000 more of them, Lord. I appreciate it. I tell you this, and I'm going to close with this. And I'm going to remind you, you are on my resume.
I know.
I've told you that before.
Yes, sir.
You are on my resume.
I know my purpose.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. And you're walking in your
I
purpose.
appreciate you.
My prayer is for you that God will exceed anything that you have imagined that He can, will, and is going to do for your life. That's my prayer, that God will exceed your wildest imaginations. And that's the scripture. God says anything we can think or imagine, God can do so much more. And I'm a celebrator, not a hater. I want to see you higher than you even are now. I'll be right there clapping, cheering for you.
I know, man.
Believe that.
I know.
Because I don't hate, I celebrate. Amen. You succeed, I succeed. You're on my resume.
Appreciate you. My boy.
Sammy Mark. Guys, stay tuned. Comeback stories
Yes, sir.
is what we're going to be calling this one. Honored to have him do this one. Do me a favor. If any of this blesses you, share this on your social media feed, because there are people all over the world that need to hear this man's story. This is his story. It's a true story. I believe in him, and there are a million more Sammys out there who have never had anything, have had to struggle. The enemy has made them believe that they can't ever be successful, and it's all a lie. With God, all things are possible. Pastor Troy Wynn Sr., Senior Pastor of the Freedom Church, bringing you Comeback Stories. Peace. Got it.
You dope.